A lovely good afternoon. Time now for the news. LUSAKA mother and son nursing wounds following a pack of dogs attack. An opposition leader passes a vote of no confidence in chief government spokesperson CHUSHI KASANDA. In international news, Tigrayan rebels begin handing in heavy weapons to Ethiopian government. MBEWE names 29-man provisional squad for under-20 AFCON tournament. The details shortly.
Hi ladies and gentlemen, I'm Cholwe from Cho's Fitness Gym. We're a fully functional gym located along Twin Palm Road in Kablonga, right by Cheshire Homes Society of Zambia. So we have various classes that happen from Monday to Friday. We have aerobics, we have boot camp, we have step aerobics, we have spinning, we have kettlebell classes. They happen from 18 to 19 hours every day, and we are open from 06 until 20 hours. That's Monday to Friday. Then Saturdays 6 to 12, and then Sundays we are closed, and most public holidays we are open 6 to 12.
Camnet Stars Football Club, popularly known as the local national team, is inviting all skillfully gifted, talented and creative soccer players from across Zambia. Ages between 16 and 20 must come, train and join the club. The category of these gifted footballers have the chance to go and market their talent in Europe and USA through Camnet Stars Football Club, a team formed with a vision to produce quality international players. Please do not miss this brief open opportunity given to you. Camnet Stars Football Club could be your gateway to your international soccer career. Venue, Kablonga Boys Secondary School grounds. Date 12th December 2022 to 21st January 2023. Time 09 hours to 11 hours. Your time to shine is now.
Thank you so much for tuning in to present the news. My name is Louisiana Lupumbwe. A 20-year-old woman of LUSAKA West is nursing dog bite wounds alongside her 2-year-old son after the duo was attacked by a pack of dogs on 20th December 2022. Speaking to Camnet TV News, Edith Banda narrates that she was in the neighborhood on the fateful evening when about 3 dogs belonging to their neighbor, a prominent former government official, beat her and her son. Meanwhile, her stepfather, Nathan Simfukwe, alleges that the accused party, who is a former Auditor General, has not been cooperative, as she has since been ignoring calls from the family after the incident. He notes that nothing has come out of the matter, despite reporting to Rosedale and Plainview Police Post after the incident. More in this report.
For almost 3 weeks now, this 2-year-old boy has not been without pain after he was attacked by dogs in LUSAKA West. His mother, Edith Banda, explains that on 20th December 2022, she was on the way home from the market after dark when she noticed 3 of her neighbor's dogs, which are normally kept inside the wall fence, out on the streets. Miss Banda narrates that she, however, saw them too late, as they were soon biting her and her 2-year-old son, until a man rushed to the scene and chased the dogs away by hitting them with a large stick.
Mama ndima mna bwera ujamamuna na chimutengo. Ndima mena na bwera na chimutengo agwa vipidi kisha bagwa vatabira mu gate. Ndima mena nafikira nyamula uyu. Ndima mena nanushira manunga. Tichegenya ku gate kuti ndapeza gate ya vala. So abafunza ta gate yenzedo open manje yasikabwa ya valika bwanji natika sanonza imilira pamene apa. So ndima mena tina imilira akongosha kuja ku gate. Kongosha bwanisa kwani ni kuti natinu next. Ndima mena tina endera kunyumba tinapota afika panga odiva dadiwa vuga bachoka after bachoka dadiwa kwa nyamula mwana after nyamula mwana ndema mnetina kupata bwerera kukongosha swana sekureko until now.
Her stepfather Nathan Simfukwe has named the owner of the dogs as Anna Chifungula, a former Auditor General, whom he alleges has been ignoring the family after the incident, while his daughter and grandson are admitted at the University Teaching Hospital UTH.
So who are these people? What are they? Do they want? They already have in problems, you see. I'm able to, all the money I have, I've just gone and do this. I'm unable to support the school-going kids who know this is January. But they're there now telling people to say they gave us 7,000. Which 7,000 did they give you? I want them to tell the truth. And I want the owner of the dogs, Bamai Tufungula Bamenya, Bachoke Panja, Bakuli for a bread, Bakamberusa to Sipisama, Basituma with them. Because as about the Tenam, we don't know what is transferring here. This is what I will say.
Her mother, Maureen Simfukwe, has alleged that the family has received no help since 25th December 2022, despite taking the matter to Rosedale Police Post and then Plainview Police Post.
Nanyama utitondane na bezi banakambata lekani tutume phone ndimwe bela na batumira phone utuma phone uja mundu senzo yanga tinankala futi tembekezera paka 10 ya kwani maiti zaista bandi tinava kujya ku hospital uvi funkoperekera bani then wameni mapereka no endo wao na maiti zaista bandi so baje wakati ndio kamba tia ikasi sinsi mpereka pakujya babani uyu muntu aoneka saya nkafoni chitani bwanji perekani vakudya vavani ndimwe bena nyamukira neno leti vakudya vavani kuno ndimwe bena bwirera then abana bwera babwerera futi mubuyo mwaka ine bana mayanga chimozimoza ati uyu muntu saya nkafoni masistizo akasebenzetuka vakafokola chikwa isadi yako bati batitandizili tikaenda kudya tia uyu muntu saya nkafoni maiti zachita bwanji satipempa kuita betajizo kuti batitandizili sacho sapondera masa onekera kuti uyu muntu angatandize akana akamba kuti muzalema kuenda kuli konse ise ndisetiriko ndisomene tisebenza mu government ndisetiripo muzalema kuenda kulibe vamene nza kusitirani na bana bana.
Camnet News will continue to follow the story as calls made to the accused as well as the Zambia police to get more information on the matter were unfruitful by end of day. The family is demanding justice over the incident that occurred. Zipporah Mshala, Camnet News, Lusaka.
New Heritage Party Vice President Samuel Kasanga has called on Minister of Information and Media, CHUSHI Kasanda, to ensure that Zambians are updated with clear and straightforward information on various plans, strategies and policies for the country in 2023. In an interview, Mr. Kasanga has described the performance of the said ministry in 2022 as chaotic, stating that the president has often had to explain that the current administration is doing with the help of the director of the Ministry of Information and Media, Tavo Kawana. Mr. Kasanga has, however, noted that there is need for a new approach from the said ministry in 2023, urging the minister to take charge and ensure that citizens are not left in the dark on various issues.
If I had a say over appointments, presidential appointments, I would actually ask the president to revoke that appointment and put in somebody, one who is competent in that area, in the field. That's a field which calls for people that are trained, communication persons, experts. Number two, somebody who is confident and will speak really as if she's speaking on behalf of the government. Now you have confusion in that ministry because you have CHUSHI Kasanda speaking for government. So that ministry is supposed to be a very vital ministry in terms of disseminating information, even in terms of government propaganda. But hey guys, they are 6s and 7s. They're 6s and 7s. Mr. Hitchler will do himself a big favor by putting people who are competent, who are experienced in that portfolio.
All People's Congress Party President Nason Msoni, member of the United Party for National Development Alliance, has urged ZESCO Limited Board Chairperson Vic Ngube to respect the Zambian people and step down to allow a competent person to take up the job. He says Mr. Ngube is a close associate of President Hakainde Hichilema and not competent to work. Mr. Msoni says the 12 hours load management is staggered or not is affecting people's livelihood negatively. Mr. Ngube on Tuesday, when he appeared on a program at a named radio station, acknowledged misleading the head of state on the issue of power generation and the Kariba Dam. Information says has plunged the country into this situation.
We have enough issues already on our plates. If indeed he had decided to take responsibility for misleading the president on two accounts, that there will be no load shedding this year, and the dam is not leaking, or the dam was leaking, please, I don't think Zambians would want to be subject to such drama. Enough load shedding. Load shedding has already caused enough challenges for the majority of our citizens. Do you know what our people are going through by this whole setup? So I think that these are the things we talk about. If he has no idea completely about what goes on in that company or utility company, he can do the honorable thing by stepping down so that somebody competent and qualified for the job can take over. Now, when we talk about the dangers of tribalism and nepotism, this is the case of Mr. Vickerson Inube, a close associate to the president. Okay? So, when people said he was not fit for the job, this is exactly what they meant. When we say avoid regional appointments, it's things like this that we try to avoid. When we talk about these things, they think we do it out of malice. But we do this for the benefit of our country.
United Party for National Development, Lusaka Province Chairperson Anderson Banda says the party will meet judgment against named political party cadres that have allegedly been terrorizing traders at Mtendere East Market by demanding market revenue collected by the Market Cooperative Society. Named UPND ward officials operating from the party office within the market have allegedly been causing havoc by demanding for the said revenue and are currently under police investigations. Meanwhile, Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development Permanent Secretary in charge of Technical Services, Nicholas Piri, says the ministry is working on revising the autonomy of cooperative markets before the end of the first quarter of 2023 to ensure that the council completely takes over the operations of such markets. More in this report.
While local authorities have taken control of revenue collection in most council-run markets, after the directive by President Hakainde Hichilema for this to be done to bring an end of revenue collection by political party cadres, cooperative-run markets have still remained a source of concern. This is the case in many such markets where cooperative market committee positions have been filled by people from the ruling party. Many stakeholders say this gives room for cadreism to continue, as these are said to be misappropriating revenue collected from the markets. The case is similar for Lusaka's Mtendere East Market, where leaders at the Market Cooperative Society have been hounded out of office by named United Party for National Development UPND ward officials who feel they should take over the market operations. In an interview, UPND Lusaka Province Youth Chairperson Anderson Banda says that those named in such activities will be punished in accordance with the party's constitution.
We are tired of talking. Our message is loud and clear. Anyone who commits a crime using the name of the party, that person is alone before the law. Anyone who harasses a person in the market, in the bus stations, that person is doing that on his own or her own. He has no blessings from the party. And we also urge the people in the markets and bus stations, in the compounds, to take note of individuals who are committing crimes using the name of the party, to bring their identities to the party structure, so that we can scrutinize them and we also mete out the punishment that we have in our constitution against the members who goes against the party directive. We have enough laws within the constitution of our party that also deals with indisciplined members who wants to do things against the policy direction of the party. So let the community members in the markets, bus stations, compounds also take note of those notorious cadres who are committing crimes in the name of the party, because we've said it clearly that no one will be supported in involving himself in the crimes.
Meanwhile, in a phone interview, Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development Permanent Secretary in charge of Technical Services Nicholas Piri says the ministry is working on how local authorities can take charge of such markets or enter into an agreement on where they will come in to manage some operations.
So generally, in a nutshell, we are condemning cadreism up now. We are not supporting the vice, and anyone who commits crimes in the name of the party, that person must be arrested by police. That person must be visited by the law. Because we believe in sanity, we believe in rule of law. We will not U-turn on what we preached when we were campaigning during opposition time. Now that we are in charge, we will still maintain, in fact even doing it more, so that there is a distinction between the past regime and the present regime.
It is hoped that such interventions will bring the much needed sanity even at cooperative markets. Zipporah Mshala, Camnet News, Lusaka.
In international news, the terms of the November 2nd peace agreement included disarming rebel forces, restoring federal authority in Tigray, and reopening access and communications to the region, which has been cut off from the outside world since mid-2021. Fighting broke out in November 2020 when Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed deployed the army in a bid to topple Tigrayan leaders who had been challenging his authority for months and whom he accused of attacking federal military bases. A deal on the implementation of the agreement signed in Nairobi on November 12 said the disarmament of heavy Tigrayan weapons would take place at the same time as the withdrawal of foreign and non-federal forces. Here's a roundup of international news.
Tigrayan rebels said Wednesday they have begun handing in their heavy weapons, a key part of a deal signed more than 2 months ago to end a deadly conflict in northern Ethiopia. The terms of the November 2 peace agreement include disarming rebel forces, restoring federal authority in Tigray, and reopening access and communication to the region, which has been cut off from the outside world since mid-2021. Fighting broke out in November 2020 when Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed deployed the army in a bid to topple Tigrayan leaders who had been challenging its authorities for months and whom he accused of attacking federal military bases. A deal on the implementation of the agreement signed in Nairobi on November 12 said the disarmament of heavy Tigrayan weapons will take place at the same time as the withdrawal of foreign and non-federal forces. Humanitarian operations have been ramped up since the peace deal, but the amount of food and medical aid being delivered remains far below the enormous needs.
The World Health Organization is on Wednesday expected to declare the Ebola outbreak in Uganda over. The country's health minister said Tuesday that 42 days had passed without an Ebola case detected. This expert says Uganda successfully mobilized the community.
What we have seen in Uganda is that they have built trust in the community over years, so that when the outbreak occurred and people are being told what to do, they are not seeing it from a suspicious eye, and conspiracy theories could not be able to overcome and cause fear among them. So very, very important that community members must be directly involved. We must build trust in the community, not just for Ebola, but for everything else, including the routine vaccination and any other outbreak that might occur.
Uganda was hit by the Sudan strain of the virus, which, unlike the Zaire variant, has no proven vaccine. Trials are currently underway using an experimental drug from the United States.
As Africans, with diseases that are predominantly occurring in Africa, we are still hugely dependent on the Western world for technology, for vaccination, for development of vaccines and for treatment, such that you see, yes, despite Ebola occurring in Africa for many years, we are still dependent on these countries to bring for us the vaccines. And unfortunately, the Sudan strain of the Ebola virus has no vaccine as we speak. It's only now that there is a trial happening to develop a new vaccine. We have to wake up as Africans.
The East African country has recorded 142 cases, including 56 fatalities since the Ebola outbreak was announced in September in the central district of Mubende.
Uganda actually has a very good public health laboratory system in place for testing for Ebola, and frankly for other diseases as well. But particularly for Ebola, because of the many years that they've had to deal with Ebola, they're able to test Ebola and confirm any suspected case literally within a day or 2 days. And because of that, when the first case was suspected and they were able to make the diagnosis, that allowed for a quick public health response from the government.
The World Health Organization has said the fatality rate of the outbreak was about 40%. The epicenter of the outbreak was placed under lockdown for over 2 months. Thousands of people turned out in the Gambian capital Tuesday for the official funeral of a critic of former ruler Yahya Jammeh, who died in police custody in 2016. Mourners lined the streets of Banjul as police passed by carrying the flag-draped coffin of Solo Sandeng. His son said the current government had been too slow to implement reforms his father died for.
Are you happy that after 7 years we're here respecting the legacy of Solo Sandeng without the electoral reforms he died for? Are you happy? Are you happy? Are you happy?
No.
Are you happy that Solo Sandeng and his colleagues, their sacrifices is actually seen as any other ordinary, because there is no respect for human rights as much as there should be.
Sanding's death in April 2016 helped unite the country's fractured opposition and drove a wave of pro-democracy protests, which ultimately led to the fall of Yahya Jammeh.
Solo was a catalyst to our newfound democracy. He inspired the masses to expressly desire and vote for change and freedom. Solo's legacy has inspired us in our current security sector reforms and the transitional justice process as a whole.
President Adama Barrow has been accused by his former allies of exhibiting autocratic tendencies and of dragging his feet on carrying out political reforms.
The president is the biggest betrayer, is the first betrayer of the cause that Solo stood up for. So it is good that he did not even come here to pollute the sanctity, the dignity of Solo.
6 members of Jammeh's National Intelligence Agency were convicted of Sanding's murder in July 2022.
That's all in international news. Time now for sports. The Zambia Under-20 men's national team coach, CHUSHI MBEWE, has named the 29-member provisional squad for next month's Total Energies Under-20 Africa Cup of Nations in Egypt. The Total Energies Under-20 Africa Cup of Nations kicks off on 19th February and ends on 11th March 2023. MBEWE has retained all 20 players from the 2022 COSAFA winning squad, but included Under-17 captain Aaron Mbemba Piri and midfielder Emmanuel Mutale. Piri and Mutale were influential to the junior team at the 2022 Under-17 COSAFA Championship played at the Region 5 Games in Malawi, where Zambia won gold. In a Facebook post, the Football Association of Zambia announced that those who are in the team include Under-17 captain Aaron Piri, Nkana defender Amon Chulu alongside Lombe Mutale for Power Dynamos, and midfielder Rexon Ngambi, Calvin Mwanza, both from Muza FC, and strikers Kingston Mutandwa from Atletico, Moses Mlenga of Power Dynamos, and City of Lusaka's Henry Zenga. Zambia is in Group C alongside Gambia, Tunisia and Benin, and will play their matches at Alexandria Stadium. The top 4 to qualify for the semi-finals will secure qualifications for the 2023 FIFA Under-20 World Cup that will be held in Indonesia in May. On that sporting item, we come to the end of the news, but here are the headlines once again. Lusaka mother and son nursing wounds following a pack of dogs attack. An opposition leader passes a vote of no confidence in chief government spokesperson CHUSHI KASANDA. Tigrayan rebels begin handing in heavy weapons to Ethiopian government. MBEWE names 29-man provisional squad for Under-20 AFCON tournament. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Louisa Nalupumbwe. Bye for now.